Heidi Heft-Laporte.
Hi.
Hi.
Speak close to the mic.
Hi.
Hi, Heidi. So,
Heidi in Brooklyn. On the
yes.
Rew-who Show.
Brooklyn.
yes, because Heidi is from Brooklyn.
Oh, there you go. That
And
makes sense.
she's an
Actually, I'm
old.
from Philly, but I live in Brooklyn.
Okay, welcome.
Oh.
Yeah.
You
Very
still
good.
consider yourself from Philly?
Well, when you're from Philly, you're from Philly.
Yeah, but
But I live in
where'd you grow up? New York.
I grew up in New York.
Yeah. So
Oh.
were you born in Philly and like, did you ever live there?
Yeah, I did.
For how long? Take this one because I don't hear you and I'm always loud.
I lived.
Sing out, Louise.
Okay.
Turn her up.
So what brings you to rew-who on this day? You have a
Well-
lot going on.
Oh, so much going on. So
Yeah.
much going on. I'm here to talk about the Tuska Institute.
The Tuska Institute.
Okay.
And what is the Tuska
The
Institute?
Tuska Institute is an institute that is about inspiring life through art, which is something that you're about.
Yeah.
You're
Yes.
about.
Both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
What does
whole,
that mean to you?
it means that more like-minded people are out there than we realize, and that a lot of people want to save the planet through art.
Love that.
Or enlighten, at least.
Yeah.
Enlighten. I love
Which
that.
would lead to saving the planet. You know?
Yeah.
So how does the Tuska Institute plan on doing this?
Okay, so I'll give you a little bit of background. There was an artist whose name was John Tuska, brilliant artist, who spent a lot of time in Brooklyn. His early years were inspired in Brooklyn. Most of his early years were spent milling about in the Brooklyn Museum, and he really learned a lot about art through perusing the art in the museum. And for him, I'm not exactly sure how to put this except to say that his family life was much like most people, you know.
Like messed up?
Yeah.
Like dysfunctional, the normal dysfunctional
yeah,
family?
let's say it like that.
I know. I wish that they would just make that the norm already. I hate that people say I come from a dysfunctional family. It's like, who doesn't?
Well, Roseanne and All in Family. Not All in Family. Them a little bit too.
I love Roseanne. She's the best.
And Married with
Yeah.
Children. They try to show that.
I love
Their
that too.
art. With their art. There's a whole nother people that are out there.
Okay, so Tuska came from a disheveled family.
Disheveled,
And
dysfunctional.
where did he go? From
Well,
Brooklyn? He went somewhere?
Well, I think for him, what's more important than where he went to many places, but he landed in Kentucky where he spent 36 years teaching at the University of Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
But what's important about his work is that art was a form of self-healing.
Mhm.
And he was very prolific and brilliant as an artist and as a teacher. And I brought a book of his work, which really shows, some of his work, which is really quite magnificent.
Was he a painter?
He was a sculptor and a painter, and he did so much work with clay and with his hands. But what was important about what
Show
he
the cover.
did and what he taught his students was not so much about being. He didn't teach his students how to be artists because you either are or you
It comes from
aren't.
inside.
Yeah,
Right.
artistically
So,
inclined.
but
he
Heidi-
taught them how to be inspired at
Yes.
what they did.
Okay.
So the Tuska Institute is about healing through art, and just what inspired the Institute was that so many professionals, some clients tend to feel disconnected when they don't respond to traditional forms of treatment, and sometimes are pathologized when they don't respond to traditional forms of treatment. And
Are
Being
these like
therapeutic.
mentally challenged?
people that are in
Like disorder-wise, like
people
physical
in
and?
healthcare and mental health care who don't necessarily respond
Right.
to traditional forms
Right.
of treatment tend to be pathologized by professionals.
And where are they put? In what category?
They're
Unsolvable?
termed as resistant to treatment.
Right. So
Okay.
this new art therapy and music and sculpting
well,
or whatever.
The idea of the Institute is to broaden the repertoire of professionals to include intervention strategies that include creativity.
Now, I know you for a long time, and so I know this is near and dear to you because aren't you someone that art saved your life? Music saved your life?
Yeah.
I mean, you're someone who actually has been healed through art. Is that why you gravitated to the Tuska Institute?
Yes. I mean, art...
And you are a doctor now as well, so...
Yes. Art and music has spoken to me personally. It really has, on many, many levels, has touched my life. And I feel very strongly about the need to bring creativity into the professional arena. Not only because I think art needs to be celebrated and artists need to be celebrated, but I also feel like a lot of times clients are, as I said, pathologized when they don't respond to traditional therapeutic techniques that rely on language and words. So, when I was teaching, I remember a student was talking about a client who didn't respond to talk therapy. And she was saying that the client was resistant. And I felt like the student was really kind of blaming the client, and it was really an anxiety response to her inability to engage with the client using language. And there are spaces within us that words don't necessarily reach.
Right.
And sometimes you need to step away from language and try other techniques to, it's almost like an emotional WD-40.
So, like, if you put a big wad of clay there and watch somebody, like, would that, like, maybe help?
That might be it.
And where'd you get this necklace? This necklace looks really amazing.
That's an interesting thing that you would point this necklace
It looks
out.
like art.
This was a necklace that was created by Tuska. One day he was on the phone.
Really? He made that?
He made this.
Wow.
But what's interesting about this is that he was fiddling around with a piece of
Oh,
clay.
I had no idea.
He was fiddling around with actually a piece of wax.
Okay.
And when he was talking on the phone. And as he was fiddling around with the wax, he just, in a matter of seconds, what he saw in the wax
It's a nude.
was a figure.
That pervert. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
The thing that's so magical about
It's beautiful.
this is that most people look at a wad of wax, an unused candle that's just wax, and they think of it as garbage.
Right. He
What
turns
was
it
magical
into
about him
beauty.
is that he was able to see in that wax this figure.
So is Tuska around today? Has he passed away?
Tuska passed away, but his son is alive and is
That is really beautiful.
and is bringing the collection to Brooklyn.
Okay.
Oh, really?
What's it gonna be
Yeah.
shown?
Wow.
Bringing the collection to Brooklyn. Of all the places in the world that he could bring that collection, he's chosen Brooklyn, which is kind of amazing. So, Marty Markowitz, if you're listening, you're my next stop. I'm going to be talking to you about this collection.
Marty Markowitz.
Marty
Come
Markowitz.
on.
Right after that.
He supports the arts.
He does.
So where in Brooklyn? Do they have a
He
spot?
doesn't have a spot yet, but I want to say
Talk to
something
Marty. He'll
about
find him a spot.
I want to say something about this wax and what it means to be able
But that's
to...
not wax now.
It's not wax
what is it
now,
now,
but
metal?
it's bronze. But the metaphor of being able to see something in the wax that doesn't exist, and to me it takes a very unique and special person to be able to see beyond the wax and to see what could be rather than what is. And Rue, I think you're that kind of person that is able to see what could be. You see the potential more than just the ball of wax. And because of that, I actually wanted to make a little presentation to you, if that's okay, even though
Sure.
I realize this is your show, but You're actually the very first recipient of the Tuska Award
Wow.
for inspired living through art and creativity. So
I don't even know what to say.
Well-
Heidi. Am I resistant to treatment? I feel like
No.
I feel like I'm in the category of resistant to
Well, you
treatment.
definitely use artist therapy.
I do.
All your songs are.
All my
therapeutic.
songs are
all the
therapeutic.
people
That
that
is
That's why
true.
you're so cheery and happy.
I purge my soul. I always
Purge yourself of
I
all
do.
of that.
I always
You
feel
are
naked
so-
with my clothes on when I sing my songs.
and everyone
I
sees
know.
that.
I know. I know.
That's great.
So let me just read this to you, if that's all right with you. And it's a certificate of recognition in acknowledgement of your continuous efforts to inspire life through music and art. Rue Star, be it known on this Friday, the 21st of September, 2012, in the presence of your viewing audience, that's you, and all those in this room, that's you, that you are the brightest star, that the lives you've touched are better by far, for having known your light and love. Rue Star burns brighter than any of us.
Aw,
Woo-hoo.
thanks, Heidi.
This is signed by me, the executive director of the Tuska Institute, and Seth Tuska, who is the son of the artist John Regis Tuska, and he is the legacy director of the Institute on September 21st, 2012. And there are two gifts I'd like to
Oh my
give you.
gosh.
The first one is right here.
Can I
Please,
open it?
of course, you better.
Oh.
Open
You
it.
better. You better.
Oh my God! It's one of those necklaces.
It's the
Is it the
It's the
sister?
beauty
Whoa.
in the wax.
Wow, you can feel it now. I want you to feel
Oh,
it.
I gotta check her out.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
I'm gonna wear that all the time. Wow. So where is this Tuska
Wait,
Institute?
one other thing before you keep asking, before you do your job and ask more questions.
Yeah.
This is 8 drawings by Tuska on twin rocker paper, which is handmade paper. And these are really beautiful drawings, which I want to present to you.
My gosh.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
You put it up in your house.
Is this like Halloween? No, I
No,
mean, wait,
it's not
Christmas?
Christmas.
It's not
the night before.
Hanukkah.
The night before Christmas.
It's like Christmas
I
Eve.
know.
all through the house.
Wow.
It's the night before.
These are gorgeous.
Yeah.
The equinox.
Oh, it is. It's fall.
This is a limited edition, 8
Wow.
beautiful drawings on handmade paper.
Oh wow.
Wow.
By
Oh my God.
Tuska, and they really are spectacular drawings. You can hold them up so
Awesome.
that they can be seen.
Wow. He liked his naked women.
He did. He was fascinated with the human condition
The
and,
true
and
art.
everything
Yeah.
that it entailed. And
Wow. What year are these from? 1972.
these were drawn in '72, but part of a limited collection for a book. The thing about Tuska, he really was fascinated with the human condition and all that it entailed, from the physical body. When he had a heart attack, he asked the doctor, he had to have triple bypass surgery, and he literally asked the doctor if he could stay awake throughout the procedure. Of course, the doctor said, that's a bit ridiculous. But he wanted to allow himself to be aware of every sensation that was going on. He wasn't permitted to do that, but he drew what he imagined the procedure was like. He was quite extraordinary.
Wow. Did you ever meet him?
I never met him, but I felt as though I did through his work. You can't look at his work.
So how do people
without
get in
feeling-
touch with the Tuska Institute, and how do people like join on, and how can people
Is
join
there a
on?
web page or something?
There's
As
a
like a
webpage.
patient or a something else.
You can't get in touch with him as a patient. You can only you can engage him in a Martin Buber sense, an I-thou sense, through Facebook. And
What's the link? What's their name?
it's Facebook non basta una vida, which means one life is not enough. But if you Google Facebook Tuska House or Tuska Studio, you'll
it's
be taken
Tuska.
Tuska. you'll be taken to the website
Tuska House.
Tuska House or Tuska Studio. Seth, S-E-T-H, Tuska, T-U-S-K-A, is his son. And you can also friend Seth on Facebook, or you can.
I can't because I'm on Facebook probation again. But you can.
For what?
I'm always on Facebook probation. They never let me friend anybody.
You can friend me.
No, I can't.
Well, you can friend me.
You can friend Heidi.
And
That's
really,
another whole story.
it's a magical experience to allow yourself to be inspired through art and creativity.
And they can donate and can make contributions.
They can make
to
contributions.
You. How do you survive?
To the Tuska Foundation. Tuska Foundation. That's how you can support the work for Tuska, who's coming to Brooklyn. And you can find out more by friending Seth Tuska.
Will you come back when they do come to Brooklyn?
Of course
so we can
I will.
Tell
and
everyone
Seth
where
will
it
come
is.
Back. Absolutely. But you can either friend me, Heidi Report, or Seth Tuska, Tuska Foundation, Tuska House, Tuska Studio.
Great.
Yeah.
All right.
So on another note,
Yeah.
I mean, we love Tuska. I love Tuska. I love this. Thank you so much. But you know, on rew-who, we like to get a skeleton from your closet, and it is National Pecan Cookie Day, and we got some pecan cookies here. So
That's right.
if you would please be brave enough to share with us a skeleton from your wardrobe.
Oh, there are so many.
I know. Just one.
Can you give me an example from your own?
Your days of kleptomania, sex and drugs and rock and roll is always a good category. You know, just irrational behavior, getting caught doing something that your mother doesn't know, something like that. Sleeping with the wrong person, you know, something in that category. You know, it could be from when you were
Doing it in
little.
public.
It could be like when you were a little kid. It could be, you know,
Stealing
somebody's lunch money. You know, it could doesn't have to be
something funny.
something silly.
Silly story.
She's blushing.
Because she's probably got hundreds.
Did you
Oh,
ever?
there are thousands.
Did you ever
Well,
like
tell
you know say
Just anything
say
off
you
the
were
top of
somebody
your head.
that you weren't to get into a club? You know.
Let's see.
What about when you ran away? Did you ever like?
Okay. Once upon a time, a long
Talk loud.
time ago,
Talking to Mike.
long time ago, I ran away from home and put all my clothes in a guitar case. And it was coincidentally when my sister was graduating from college. My sister, who shall remain nameless, because I have a truckload of sisters.
Right.
And I ran all the way to Florida with my clothes in a guitar case. It was very exciting. Do I have to say more? You want more?
Well, what happened?
What happened?
Any exciting stories happen along the way? How'd you get there?
We took a bus.
So
Oh,
you
you and a
weren't
friend?
alone.
I wasn't alone. It was a we.
Oh,
so
was
that
it a
person ran
guy?
away too.
The friend, she,
Oh,
ran
okay.
away too.
And did you stay in Florida for a while?
We stayed in Florida for a week.
Oh,
So did you have a vacation?
We had quite the vacation.
And did it end good or bad?
It ended terrible.
It ended what?
Terribly.
I got in so much trouble. Any more?
No, that's good. Unless you want to add to it. Is that good? You happy
Is it
with
enough
that?
for a cookie?
It's
If I
enough
say
for a
more, do I get
cookie.
two?
Yeah.
Oh man.
What happened? Did you get arrested?
So much arrested.
Drunk in
I got
public?
so arrested. It's not even funny.
And they just let you out the next day?
No.
So you didn't have Lindsay Lohan's lawyer? Poor Fiona Apple. She needs Lindsay Lohan's lawyer. But we're not going to go
Lindsay
there.
doesn't hold a Talk to my sisters.
Nobody can hear her, but we can.
See my sisters.
Yeah. All right. You get 2 cookies
Correct.
for that. Here you go. Happy National Pecan Cookie Day.
One
So,
cookie,
Tuska
one
Studio.
House.
Check it out. TUSKA. Thank you so
How
much,
many
Heidi.
All right.
And just remember,
She's a doctor now,
non
so
basta una vida, one life is not enough. But it's all we get. Or is it?
right,
No,
we
it
don't
might
know.
not be.
Thank you so much. We'll be back with more on this
Rew-who,
day. Yes.
21st September here in Brooklyn.